Hey, all right. So we are going to just jump right in because I think it's really important that we talk about what we're going to talk about today. And ultimately, it is having no excuses. It's so easy once you're an adult and life really starts to happen, whether you have children, whether you just start a new business, whether you're in a marriage, a new ministry, any kind of new venture, any kind of change of life situation, it is so easy to start making excuses for not moving forward. So easy. I have favorite excuses. Everybody has favorite excuses. I have kids. I had to work late. My manager is a micromanager. I missed the bus. I missed the train. There's a train coming. There's so many. Sorry about that. There's so many different excuses that we use. And ultimately, what we come to find out is that those excuses usually aren't even really the excuses. I've been reading the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone, and he talks a lot about that. And it's true. It's the fact that there's usually an underlying reason to the excuse that we use. Like, for example, why were you late for work? And I think like the example he used is, well, I was late for work because of traffic. Well, no, you weren't really late for work because of traffic. You were late for work because your alarm went off and you didn't get up. You hit the snooze 3 times, which means by the time you got up, you were already, 15, 20 minutes behind the time that you were supposed to get out the door so that you wouldn't run into traffic, which is what made you late for work. So the underlying reason is you didn't get up when you were supposed to, right? The underlying reason is it wasn't important enough for you to get up, so you kept hitting the snooze, which is what caused you to be running late and run into traffic, so that made you late for work. And the truth is that a lot of the times we never want to accept that. But in order for us to be successful at whatever it is we're doing, we have to get to the underlying reason. In our marriage, we're arguing, and the question is, well, what are you mad about? Well, I'm mad because he left the toilet seat up. Or I'm mad because, dinner wasn't ready when I got home. Or I'm mad because, we have all of these reasons. And the truth is that there's an underlying reason to why you're upset. In a marriage, it's usually because somebody has a need that they believe is not being met. And instead of addressing what that need is, every little thing that is being done is rubbing you the wrong way because the need that you need to be met is not being met, and you're not communicating about what that is. So we never get to the underlying actual reason. We start to use excuses. Well, if she hadn't have done this, then I wouldn't have done this. If he hadn't have said that, then I wouldn't have said this in retaliation. No, you wanted to retaliate, and that thing is what helped you have an excuse to retaliate. You were feeling those things before they said what they said. You were feeling that way or thinking that thought before they did what they did, right? And we don't think about that. And truth is that excuses, they never improve your situation. How does an excuse improve your situation? Saying traffic made me late to work, how does that improve your situation? You're still late to work. You were still late for work. How does that make your situation better? When if you admit, you know what, it's because I hit the snooze 3 times. Had I not hit the snooze, had I got up when my alarm went off, I'd have been on time for work. That improves your situation because you've admitted what's going on. The next thing he talks about is that successful people, they don't make excuses. Successful people go straight to the, had I got up, I'd have been to work on time, right? Successful people admit in a marriage, baby, you and I are not talking. We are not communicating, so I don't know what it is you want, and you don't know what it is I want. So does it piss me off when you leave the cap off the toothpaste? Yes. Because I get an opportunity to say something to you when ultimately I just want to communicate. I use the cap off the toothpaste as an excuse. Successful people don't do that because they get right to it. Baby, I'm not mad about the toothpaste. I'm mad because I want to talk to you. I have some things that I need that I don't feel like are being met. And so I'm sure if I'm feeling this way, you're probably feeling that way too. So how do we fix this? Right? Because successful people figure out a solution. They want to get to the solution. What's the issue? What's the solution? If I just started a new business, right? I just started a new business. What is my issue? My issue is I need customers for my business. I need team members for my business. Now, then I set my goal, right? I have to have a goal. I want 10 new customers. I want 5 new team members. Those are my goals. What happens if I don't get those goals? As a successful person, do I make excuses and say, well, nobody was responding. Nobody's calling me back. Nobody's following through with their orders. Nobody's following through with their enrollments. My upline's not giving me the training that I need. Do I make those excuses, or do I say, I didn't follow up the way I should have followed up? I didn't contact the people who were first set on my mind to contact. I didn't get in touch with my upline to say, these are the issues I'm having. What do I do about it? Like, how do I address those? Let's say I got 4 of the 5. Why didn't I get that final 5? As a successful person, I'm going to figure out what happened. I'm going to figure out what I did that worked for the 4 and what I didn't do that caused me to not get the 5th one. I am not going to make an excuse. I'm not going to talk about how sick I was. I didn't feel good. I had a headache. There was some trauma going on this weekend, and I'm not going to make an excuse. What am I going to do? I'm going to take massive action. I am going to dig in, and I am going to make it happen. I'm going to figure out, what can I do different? What can I do new? What worked that I can improve? What didn't work that I can throw out and change? Who do I need to contact? What resources do I need to find? What do I need to read? Right? When do I need to, what time do I need to get up early? How late do I need to stay up? Can I optimally do those things? And if I can't stay up late, then where do I adjust my day? I don't have enough time is not an excuse. You know why? Because we have the same 24 hours in a day that everybody else has. And there are people who are being successful at the things that we want to be successful at. We want to be successful in our business. We want to be successful in our marriages. We want to be successful as parents. We want to be successful as students. We want to be successful as ministry leaders. And there are people who are successful in that. And they're not making excuses. We don't want to make the phone calls because we are afraid. What are you afraid of? People are going to tell me no. And you tell people no all the time. We hear no all the time. Get used to hearing it. If you've got to stand in a mirror and tell yourself 150 times, no. Would you like my product? No. Do you want to go on this trip with me? No. Right? Do you want to clean up the kitchen? No. Get used to it. Get used to hearing it. And then come up with your response. What's your response? Why are you taking no for an answer? How about that? Is that an excuse? They said no. Well, did you come up with a resolution? Did you try to find an answer? Did you find out why they were saying no? We cannot afford excuses. There's too much going on. There's way too much going on in the world. And those of us who have positive intentions, those of us who want the world to be a better place, we have got to stop making excuses as to why it's not happening. And the true reason is it's not them, it's us. It's us. I'd rather sit back and make an excuse as to why the world is the way it is instead of me digging in and taking massive action to make it better. To make it better. Do I want people to join me? Absolutely. What am I doing that's different? What am I doing that nobody else is doing? Do I look like everybody else? Maybe that's the underlying reason. People are tired of seeing the same thing over and over and over. Is that the case? It's quite possible. It is quite possible. So, from today forward, we stop making excuses. We stop making excuses. And if you find yourself stuck in an excuse, find yourself an accountability partner. Excuse me. Find yourself an accountability partner. Say, I'm stuck. This is why I feel like I'm stuck. Find somebody who's going to tell you, why is that a good excuse? And the minute they say that, your response should be, it's not, because successful people don't make excuses. Successful people find a solution. Successful people find a solution. For a successful person, there is always a solution. There's a resource, whether it's a book, whether it's somebody who's where you're trying to get, there's something. Even in a marriage, there's a couple who's been together for years and years. As a parent, there's a parent who has raised 1, 2, 3, 12 kids. They're all out the house. They were, they all went to college. Maybe 1 or 2 of them got locked up and they got through that. There's a resource. There's a resource that you can tap into. Are you trying to improve yourself? Your mindset? What are you reading? What are you watching on TV? What music are you listening to? Does it affect you? Yes. You have to have a positive mindset. You have to have an I can mindset. You have to have a I will win mindset. Do you have your goals written down? Do you shrink your goals once you start to write them down? Like you have this big idea and you start to write it down, and because it looks so big on paper, you start to line through it and then minimalize it. Why are you making it smaller? Why do you feel like you can't reach that thing that came to you first? What was the first goal? Do that thing. Go after that thing. You are worth it. You have it in you. If you didn't, it would not have come to you. Can you do it by yourself? Everybody needs somebody. Find your somebody. Find your somebody. All you can do is ask. The worst they can do is say no. Then find somebody else. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Believe in yourself. I do. I honestly believe that you can do what is in your heart to do. And you know what that is better than anybody. Better than anybody. If you want help finding your resources, contact me. We'll find your resources. Why? Because I am determined to go after every dream I have. To go after it. To be a success. To teach my children to be a success. To teach my children to teach their children to be a success. To reach as many women who want to be a success. To influence as many men who want to be a success. Why? Because we can. There is not a limited resource of success. Success doesn't run out. There is no top person who is the most successful and there's only so many of those successful slots. There's not. You know who limits your success? You do. You limit your success. I limit my success. You determine what your success looks like. I determine what my success looks like. And I can't do that making excuses. I do that by finding solutions. God bless you.